Bowers and Wilkins PX are a pair of beautifully designed active noise cancelling headphones. But let's see how they compare against what I feel are the best ANC headphones on the market right now for 2017 and 2018, the Sony 1000XM2s. Will the PX take the title from the 1000XM2s? Let's find out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and you can watch either of these headphones' individual reviews here after you're done watching this video. Remember, this isn't a full review on either of these headphones. I'm just trying to point out the most important differences between them so I can help you with your purchase decision. Regarding price, the Bowers and Wilkins PX are slightly more expensive than the Sony 1000XM2, retailing for $400, whereas the Sony 1000XM2 currently retail for $350. But Sony routinely put their products on sale, so who knows, maybe they'll randomly go on sale for $300 sometimes. So if you want to pick either of these headphones up, I'll have links in the description below, and I'll keep them updated so you can get the best deal possible. Check them out because you might get lucky. First off, let's go over build quality and design. Obviously, these headphones are very different from one another, and I feel the B&W PX are the best looking headphones I've reviewed on the channel so far. The PX have a stainless steel body, ballistic nylon around the ear cups and headband, leather that feels very smooth and soft after it's been broken in, and there's a threaded cable that runs down the sides of the headphones. The ear cups swivel and pivot very smoothly, and there's no cracking or squeaking when flexing the headband. They're a pair of very well-built headphones that are just as much a fashion statement as they are audio equipment, whereas the Sony 1000XM2 are more about functionality. The premium materials used on the PX does make them a little heavier, weighing in at 335 grams, whereas the Sony 1000XM2 weigh in at 277 grams. It's not a big deal, but it is noticeable. The 1000XM2s are mostly made out of plastic, have a thin stainless steel headband, and they have synthetic leather on the ear pads, headband, and outer portion of the ear cups. The ear cups also pivot, swivel, and fold up very smoothly, and there's no cracking or squeaking when flexing the headband. But the build quality on the Bowers and Wilkins PX is just on a whole other level. Now, regarding the headband cracking issue on the Sonys, I know some people might be wondering about. After 2 months of heavy usage, I'm happy to report there's still no cracking on the 1000XM2s. Now, when it comes to comfort, the Bowers and Wilkins PX are not for the cranially gifted. As in, if you have a big head like me, they're not for you. The PX have a good amount of clamping force, and even after they've been broken in, they do cause me some discomfort in the jaw area after a while of wearing them. But if you have a smaller head, you'll be just fine. Whereas the 1000XM2s will fit basically everyone, but the ear cup designs are very different. They both go around your ears, but the 1000XM2s feel more cramped with a whole bunch of padding pressing against your head, whereas the PX does a much better job of encasing your ears. The encased design of the PX gives your ears a lot more room, and the padding doesn't overheat as much. And just putting it out there, the Bose QC35-2 are still more comfortable than both of these headphones. The ear cups have a similar encased design as the Bowers and Wilkins PX, but they have much less clamping force than both the Sony and the B&W. Okay, let's get into tech specs. Both of these headphones are using Bluetooth 4.1, and they both have aptX HD audio, which really only matters if you have an Android device. But the Bowers and Wilkins PX have a USB Type-C port, whereas the Sony 1000XM2s are still using a micro USB port. Also, the B&W PX can be connected to 2 devices at the same time, whereas the Sonys can only be connected to 1 device at a time. And for premium headphones in 2017 and 2018, being able to be paired to multiple devices at one time should be a no-brainer, and Sony should have thrown in a USB Type-C port instead of using the older port. But the Sony 1000XM2s can be used passively with a wired connection, whereas the PX have to be powered on even if you want to use a wired connection. Also, the 1000XM2s have NFC, whereas the PX don't, but since Google just announced fast pairing, I don't think it's that big of an issue. Now, when it comes to battery life, the Sony 1000XM2 is the winner. With noise cancellation turned on, I typically average about 32 hours of playback time, and with noise cancellation turned off, I average about 38 hours. Whereas the B&W PX has an average battery life compared to other headphones on the market. With noise cancellation turned on, I typically average about 24 hours of playback time, and with noise cancellation turned off, I average about 30 hours. And unfortunately, the Bowers and Wilkins PX doesn't have quick charging, which could be a problem if you find yourself with a dead battery while traveling. Whereas the Sony 1000XM2 does have quick charging, but it's not the best out there. If you plug them in for 10 minutes, you'll get about 70 minutes of playback time. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Regarding noise cancellation, I like them both very much for 2 very important reasons. They both have very little to no cabin pressure, and they don't have any hissing when you're not playing music. They pick up very little wind noise as well, but the Bowers and Wilkins PX does pick up less wind noise than the 1000XM2. Actually, the PX pick up the least amount of wind noise of all the ANC headphones I've tested so far. You can also adjust how strong you would like the noise cancellation to be on both of these headphones through their apps, and you can also adjust the amount of ambient sound you would like to let in, which is good for safety reasons if you're walking around in the city, or so people can still get your attention if you're working at the office or at school. But overall, the noise cancellation on the Sony 1000XM2 does outperform the noise cancellation on the Bowers and Wilkins PX. Although the PX do a really good job of blocking out constant low frequency sounds, it's not as good at blocking out chatter like the Sony 1000XM2. Also, if you want, the 1000XM2 can automatically adjust the noise cancellation depending on what you're doing, which is something the PX can't do right now. Even though the Sony 1000XM2 does have the better noise cancellation, the Bowers and Wilkins PX does have the better sound quality. In general, the PX have an even sound signature, which is what audiophiles prefer. Even though you can adjust the EQ of the Sony 1000XM2 directly from its app, something you can't do with the PX unless you use a third-party app, the definition, clarity, and soundstage on the Sony isn't as good as the B&W PX. Going back to the design of the ear cups on the PX, they do a better job of encasing your ears and provide an overall better listening experience. The lows get much deeper and the highs are much more precise. But this is with noise cancellation turned off on both headphones. If you turn noise cancellation on, then the sound quality of the PX does deteriorate a bit. The soundstage narrows up a bit and the lows don't get as deep. Whereas the 1000XM2 sound equally as good with noise cancellation turned on or off. So both headphones with noise cancellation turned on are pretty evenly matched. The PX only noticeably sound better than the 1000XM2 when noise cancellation is turned off. But nonetheless, both headphones sound good. I'm just trying to be hypercritical. Both of these headphones also have some unique features to consider. The Bowers and Wilkins PX have wear sensors, and they're basically proximity sensors in the middle of each ear cup. The idea is that when you put them on, they'll automatically turn on and play music, and they'll automatically go into a low power mode when you place them around your neck or place them on a table. And if you have them on and you take one ear cup off to listen to someone talking to you, they'll automatically pause your music so you can hear your surroundings, and they'll resume playing when you put them back on. Although in theory this is cool, it's not perfect just yet. Sometimes the headphones will start pausing and playing your music randomly, but hopefully Bowers and Wilkins will fix this issue with a software update soon. But personally, I prefer to use the headphones with the wear sensors turned off. And the Sony 1000XM2 have quick attention, and this is my favorite feature by far. If you have your headphones on and someone is talking to you, all you have to do is cover the right ear cup and the headphones will lower the volume of whatever you're listening to and let all of the ambient sound in. So you can talk to someone without having to remove your headphones. And when you uncover the right ear cup, everything goes back to normal. Like I said, I love this feature and it's much sleeker than Bowers and Wilkins' solution. Also real quick, when it comes to the microphone on either of these headphones, the 1000XM2 sound better, but if you want to hear a microphone test on either of these headphones, check out their full reviews. Picking a winner here is going to be harder than usual because I really like both of these headphones. But if I had to pick just one, I would go with the Sony 1000XM2, excluding comfort because like I said earlier, the Bowers and Wilkins PX aren't the best for people with bigger heads. The Sony 1000XM2 have the better battery life, they give you more customization options through their app, and the noise cancellation is slightly better. I feel the 1000XM2 is the safe option for most people, but the Bowers and Wilkins PX are still a great pair of ANC headphones for people people whose main concern is sound quality. Like I said earlier, the PX sound better than the Sonys, but only with noise cancellation turned off, and the PX are the best looking headphones I've reviewed so far. When it comes to my ANC headphone standings, it would have to go first place Sony 1000XM2, a really close second place goes to the B&W PX, and third goes to the Bose QC35-2s because they have amazing comfort. But again, this isn't a full review on either of these headphones. I'm just trying to point out the most important differences between them so I can help you with your purchase decision. If you want to learn more about either of these headphones, tap the icon on the top right and watch their full reviews. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you realize. For more product reviews and deal alerts, check out jimcaddy.net. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt, and I'll catch you next time.